help for Alberta families.
The first reason is so students can continue their learning.
Keeping kids busy during the teachers' strike. The nasty side of politics.
The global state of politics is scary right now, and it is scary for me, but this is my city.
Candidates endure sexism and racism on the campaign trail. And short-term rentals banned.
I just think the condo board could have done a better job on trying to find a solution that's not just outright banning.
Condo boards responding to bad behavior.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The province is offering extra support for families with special needs children as both sides in the teachers' strike prepare to resume bargaining on Tuesday. Alicia Fieldberg joins us from TELUS Spark. And Alicia, families are struggling to figure out alternatives, so the boost could help some of them.
Yes, if you have an active family support for children with disabilities agreement, you could get an extra $30 an instructional day for children 12 and under and $60 per day for kids 13 and up. Now, that is additional to the $30 a day that the province is already offering all families per kid. Many families are looking to places like this for options with schools closed and expected to be closed for at least the next few days. Education camps at TELUS Spark looks a lot like school, but they are designed to enhance what would be learned in the classroom. With no agreement between the province and Teachers Association, 700,000 Alberta public and separate school students have to find other ways to learn. Many organizations are offering school disruption camps to help, which can be fun, but they require extra time and money from families. Many people are hoping this doesn't last long.
But we built these camps sort of for three reasons for the community. So the first reason is so students can continue their learning. The second reason is so that our community of parents, our community of staff that have kids, have somewhere cool to bring their kids. And the third reason is so that our awesome educators can continue their meaningful work here.
Now, if an agreement is not reached, the province could order teachers back to work. Now, that would likely mean that extracurriculars, including field trips to places like this, could be canceled. That would also mean that the same educators who are helping out by pivoting to be camp instructors right now might likely be left in limbo with this. Ian?
Okay, thank you, Alicia. The labor action involving Sobeys warehouse workers and drivers near Calgary continues. The members of the Teamsters Union were locked out by management in mid-September, shortly after the workers went on strike. The 250 employees work at Sobeys distribution center in Rocky View County, which provides goods to grocery stores and convenience stores across central and southern Alberta. New numbers from Statistics Canada show Alberta is leading the country with 40,000 new jobs in September. That's a 1.7% jump from the previous month. Economists say it's also the highest jump in employment outside the pandemic period. The increases mainly came from the manufacturing and agriculture sectors. The gains also offset major losses in July and August. Alberta's jobs minister says he's encouraged by the latest numbers.
But what I'm really looking at is what's happening going forward and what we could attribute these numbers to. And that's a lot of the new investment we're seeing in the province, the construction jobs it's creating, and also the environment we've created as a province for future investment going forward. So year over year, these numbers are also very positive, over 70,000 new jobs, and the best is still yet to come.
Alberta's unemployment rate sits at 7.8%. In Calgary, that number is just over 8%. Both are above the national average of 7.1%. Calgary police have laid charges in a hate-motivated assault that happened in the summer. Police say a man and a woman were waiting at a marked crosswalk on Southland Drive Southwest on June 24th. An unknown man approached and struck the other man. He was heard shouting a racial comment as he left on foot. The suspect later turned himself in connection to a separate hate-motivated assault downtown. 32-year-old Kyle Thompson faces charges and will appear in court next Friday. In the final stretch of the Civic election campaign, some council candidates say they're dealing with incivility from the public. Stephanie Thomas joins us now. And Stephanie, many of the examples include racism, bigotry, and sexist remarks.
Ian, in some wards, there's only one female candidate running and the rest are men in the race. And both of those individuals tell me that they've encountered hostility because of their gender. In other wards, racist comments have been hurled at some of the candidates who are running. Now, in a recent Chamber of Commerce debate, mayoral candidate Sonia Sharp stopped to address a heckler. Now, both she and the moderator called it rude. In Ward 10, Tarlo Chen Singh Sidhu has faced a barrage of racist comments online. In Ward 5, Root Mushiana's sign has been vandalized, and she says she's been asked why her husband isn't running for office instead. Heather McRae is the only woman running in Ward 7 and has also had to push back against assumptions from voters that she's not qualified because she's not a man. Now, Ariana Kippers, who is running in Ward 9, is Indigenous, Black, and Chinese. She has 2 open police files and hires security during some events. Kippers and all of the candidates CTV News spoke with say they are pushing forward for public office in spite of all this.
I think the global state of politics is scary right now, and it is scary for me, but this is my city. I love talking to people on the door. I spend 8 to 10 hours a day door knocking, and I will every day until October 20th because I want to hear from my neighbors.
Political experts I spoke with say that increased online hostility is now spinning out into real life, and that any actions of hatred or incivility should be called out and condemned, and people held to account for their actions. Now, advanced polls close tomorrow night at 7 p.m., but Election Day is on Monday, October 20th. Ian.
Thank you, Stephanie. And Calgary's advanced vote numbers continue to be lower than the last municipal election. On Thursday, 14,500 people cast their ballot. That's 5,500 fewer than in 2021. You can learn more about the darker side of Calgary's past on ghost tours throughout October. Black-cloaked guides carrying lanterns lead guests on nighttime tours throughout historic Calgary buildings as they share tales about our ancestors and recent unexplained encounters. Chilling tales about one of Calgary's early pioneer families, a deadly train derailment, and a mysterious phenomenon in the bakery are part of Heritage Park's ghost tours this season.
Hook people in while you're telling them the stories and then scare them, but there's also the component of the history.
Heritage Park's fall ghost tours sell out fast, but it's offering several other spooky events this month and also offers ghost tours in the spring. It is the spooky season. That's the Prince House at Heritage Park. There's said to be a ghost in there, so you don't like that.
No ghosts, no bears. And there seems to be a lot of ghosts and bears right now happening.
It seems to be that way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. If you like the warmth and the sunshine, hopefully you took today off and you took in every moment of it, because it's a different story as we get into Thanksgiving long weekend. So maybe you have a good book you want to read. You know, you got some really good coffee. You have some great people coming over. There's a show you want to watch. Snowfall warning in place, Banff and Canmore, Kananaskis area, and in the gray there, especially right along the mountains, that's a special weather statement, so up to 10 centimeters possible there, and in the warning area, the snowfall warning area, up to 20 centimeters possible. 18 degrees is the temperature at the airport. The winds are picking up, but it's out of a nice direction, out of the south. That's a warmer wind. Our 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit fifthvw.com. And I'm going to get into more detail in just a little bit, but we are looking at temperatures plummeting by noon. I'll show you that coming up, Ian.
Thanks, Danielle. The board of a condo tower in Calgary has had enough. Still to come, while they've decided to ban short-term rentals in their building. And door-to-door service, Calgary's fire chief helping to install smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. The Calgary Fire Department teaming up with ATCO to install, test, and replace smoke and carbon monoxide alarms in several homes. This is the latest initiative for Fire Prevention Week, which runs through Saturday. Fire Chief Steve Dongworth was part of the group in the northeast community of Rundle, going door to door, offering to install new alarms and talk to residents about fire safety. At this time of year, carbon monoxide calls increase, so monitoring for the poisonous, odorless gas was also addressed. Another reminder to dispose of your batteries properly. The city of Lethbridge sharing this video from its waste and recycling center. This fire started yesterday afternoon. The sprinkler system kicked in and helped contain the flames until firefighters arrived. You should never throw your batteries in the garbage or recycle bins. Instead, they should be dropped off at a household hazardous waste site, a city eco center, or participating retailers.
Okay.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, you used the word plummet earlier.
Plummet.
Great word, but,
Thank you.
but used often in connection with the weather and the stock market.
Yeah, and neither of them are typically seen as the best things in the world.
True. Mm-hmm.
So I apologize for what I'm about to share with you. If you don't like cold temperatures and wet snow, some people, maybe you're waiting for this. All right, here's your Skywatch weather cam. This has been a stunning day. We got up to 19 degrees in the city. And we had a lot of sunshine out there as well. It was beautiful. Hopefully you enjoyed at least really throughout this entire work week. It's been beautiful. So hopefully you enjoyed some of that before things cool down for a few days here. So we're now dropping for the evening in the city down to 18 degrees, and we're still in the 20s. Actually, even Edmonton, Rocky Mountain House, down through Drumheller, Brooks. Even Medicine Hat's in the mid-20s. So there's a lot of heat. We're going to lose this heat. We got a nice push of air from the south for today, and that boosted up our temperatures. But this upper level trough is on its way. And that's definitely going to cool the temperature down significantly. We're going to struggle to get to the freezing mark come Sunday and Monday. And the other thing is, as we get the moisture, when we have those cooler temperatures, the rain will switch over to wet snow. We have nothing to talk about for the evening hours, but I do want to fast forward this to tomorrow. So tomorrow, by the afternoon hours, in the morning, we may actually in the city have some sunshine, and by the noon hour, we should get up to 16 degrees. But by noon, the winds will start to shift, the clouds will start to roll in, the winds will come out of the north, and temperatures will quickly start to plummet, as we were saying. So, all right, so there's the showers that will arrive around 2:30, 3:30 in the city. And then, as you can see, this starts to switch over pretty quick. So by about 7 o'clock tomorrow night, it switches over into wet snow. If you go to bed early and you get up a little later, then you may not see any of the snow. You may see a little of it accumulate in the grass in the morning. But we are looking at more consistent, longer-term snowfall off along the mountains here, which is why there is a snowfall warning in place for Canmore and Banff areas. So I'm going to show you that right now. Snowfall warning. So some localized areas in these areas could get up to 20 centimeters of snow. In the gray here, so basically just to the west of Lethbridge, all along Highway 2, Calgary's not included in this, but this is where we could see anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. This is the most likely scenario for most communities, a centimeter or two for most communities, Calgary down to Lethbridge, for example, and then up to 20 Canmore, and even that's possible in Banff area. Kananaskis. Okay, so that longer range forecast, 16 degrees for tomorrow. Again, we'll reach that at about noon, and then we have the dropping temps. Rain in the afternoon, switching over to wet snow Saturday night. That will carry into really early Sunday morning, but it will clear out pretty fast. The cloud cover will stick around, as you can see, and so will the cool temperatures. Just a high of 0 on Sunday and Dancing Turkey Monday.
Thanks, Danielle. Some Calgary condo boards are now banning short-term rentals to put an end to all the noise, traffic, and damage to their buildings. The Guardian South Tower, located near the Stampede grounds, will no longer allow short-term rentals effective November 1st. The tower was the building where a man fell and died in June, which one property owner says spurred talks to ban short-term rentals. Other issues people complained about included excessive foot traffic and partying, especially during the Stampede. For one unit owner, they're now left choosing between selling or renting long-term.
I just think the condo board could have done a better job on trying to find a solution that's not just outright banning, because, of course, it affects a lot of people's investments.
A realtor we spoke with says condo boards banning short-term rentals in Calgary are growing. Airbnb did weigh in, saying, while we require hosts to follow rules set in place, we encourage parties to resolve private disputes directly with each other. He has an impressive resume leading orchestras around the world. Now he's leading a Canadian organization. Just ahead, we'll meet the former Calgarian now waving the baton for the National Youth Orchestra of Canada. As we mentioned earlier, Canada added more jobs than expected last month. Joining me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich-Carmeli Advisory Group. And yes, some surprising job numbers this month.
You know, it was a huge one. Yeah, the expectation was for an add of 5,000, and we got 60,000. So, I mean, this was a big one for the economy in the Bank of Canada, as well as their expectation of, you know, the next rate cut here on October 29th is kind of in question now, if there could be a pause. And I was watching the overnight swap rates, and they went from 70% chance of a cut to 56 because, again, this jobs report looked pretty good, and it was the manufacturing side that was the highlight of that added the most jobs. So I think that we're going to have to see consistency of these reports, because we need a theme of this, because we're coming off a rough summer, so we need to see a couple good reports here in the fall.
And overall, how did the markets end the week?
Yeah, I think this was a bit of a negative one after the end of trading today, or on Friday here, because, you know, we got some commentary mid-morning from Trump that this China trade deal is kind of off the table right now, as he's put a ton of focus on extra tariffs, especially onto rare earths, citing that there is a lot of security concern and stability on that side for him to, you know, get a lot of those on his side. So that's what drove the markets lower today. We saw a lot of declines. We saw 800 points down on the Dow and 400 points down on the TSX. So okay week until the end, and the end of the week negative.
All right. Thanks very much. Have a great long weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You too.
The federal government is extending the Canada Strong Pass. The program means free admission for all visitors to national parks and historic sites. There's also a 25% discount on camping fees at national parks, and children, when accompanied by an adult, can ride for free on Via Rail. The cost savings will be in effect for the holiday season between December 12th and January 15th, and for the summer of 2026. The Carney government also announcing today it will be automatically filing taxes for up to 5.5 million low-income Canadians. It will start in the 2026 tax year. The feds say it will help ensure Canadians receive the federal benefits they qualify for, such as the Canada Child Benefit and the GST HST credits. Starting tomorrow, a nationwide walkout by Canada Post workers will be replaced by rotating strikes. The union representing striking postal workers says this will allow Canadians to get their mail while negotiators work toward collective agreements. This comes after Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu said the union and Crown Corporation have a responsibility to find a solution. Preparing to return to bargaining. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. Starting Tuesday, negotiations are back on between the province and the teachers' union. Complex classroom needs are expected to be the main focus of the discussions. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from parents who are hoping for a quick resolution. Also ahead, you'll hear what the Prime Minister had to say today when asked if he believes Canada needs another pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast. We'll see you at 6. Ian.
Thanks, Tara.
Orchestral music got to me as a kid, which means that from the time of like Vivaldi, from one musician to another, it's been transmitted and people could continue to play, and somebody valued it enough to put it into the educational system, and it reached this kid. And it just like lit a fire. And that's not an accident.
A Calgary native is now the music director of the National Youth Orchestra. William Aberhart High School grad Daniel Bartholomew Poyser takes on the job after conducting prestigious organizations like the New York Philharmonic and the Los Angeles Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl. And joining me from Toronto is Daniel Bartholomew Poyser. Thanks for joining us today, and congratulations, first of all.
Thank you so much. I am a proud Calgarian, proud Albertan, and I'm very, very thrilled about this appointment.
And tell us about your thoughts on that. How greatly honored are you?
Oh, as an Albertan or as a music director of this organization?
As a music director, yeah.
Both. Music director, great. No, seriously though, it's being the music director of the National Youth Orchestra of Canada means not only that you're
a music director of a really important institution, but that you've been symbolically asked to have a say in the future musical direction of the lives of so many Canadian musicians. All across Canada, our orchestras are filled with laureates of the National Youth Orchestra of Canada. It's a rite of passage. And as I've been talking with musicians, I was just in Halifax, talking to musicians in Toronto, Symphony of Nova Scotia, Toronto Symphony Orchestra, others, they'll say, oh, Daniel, that's amazing. I was in NYO. I did that. We sang, we learned the traditions of the National Youth Orchestra of Canada. You might not realize that at your local orchestra, whether you're in Victoria or Vancouver or Regina or wherever, the traditions of the National Youth Orchestra of Canada are influencing what Canadians are hearing in the concert halls all over the country. So to be asked to participate in that, to be asked to lead that is huge.
To see my extended interview with Daniel Bartholomew Poyser, visit ctvnews.ca/Calgary. A rather dramatic change in the weather over the long weekend. It's going to get cold and snowy. Pretty nice now, though. Mainly sunny at 18. Danielle has details still ahead. Our weather is going to take a turn tomorrow, dramatically.
It's hard to believe, right? You consider our work week that we had, and then this. This there. Okay, well, it's nice until noon. 16 degrees is what we'll get to, but by the noon hour, the winds will shift to the north. It's a cold wind. It'll start to pick up to 50 kilometers per hour. That's your sign that things are changing. Clouds will roll in, rain in the afternoon, switching to wet snow Saturday night, which will carry into early Sunday morning.
Thank you, Danielle. Some young Albertans getting a chance to train with the best of the best under the big top. More than 24 elite youth gymnasts getting their chance to train with Cirque du Soleil artists and performers from their show Echo. The session giving the teenage athletes a chance to learn from some of the best in the world.
Yeah, it's like super cool, kind of seeing where my gymnastics career can lead, and yeah, seeing how people can move their bodies in a way that's kind of a little bit less strict than what we have to do in gymnastics. And yeah, it's super cool to be here today.
Cirque du Soleil's Echo continues at Stampede Park until October 19th. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.